Hey, it's Heather, and it's knitting update number 2 for Wednesday, January 14th. So it is earlier in the day, thank goodness. It's still really overcast here. We're supposed to get a ton of snow tonight. So I was kind of waiting to film, but it's not going to get any better. And I want to have a little video to put out where I talk about some stuff that I didn't talk about yesterday, updates on my sock, and then also update because I'm going to cast on something new. And then I also got something exciting in the mail. It's not really an acquisition, so I'm going to talk about that too. I had chemo this morning, and I never feel that bad with this chemo. I think they give you enough drugs to like counteract any side effects, so I normally feel pretty good. But today I think I'm just like really rocking that Benadryl haze, because since I got home I've just been kind of like a zombie. So I was also waiting to see if I would get more energy. I feel a bit more energized now, but I think it's gonna last like half an hour. So now is the time to talk. Oh yeah, also I'm wearing my Six of Daisies cardigan. This pattern's by Degen. I love this sweater. It is knit bottom up and it is all seamed, and I did do it that way. It is in tarja. I have no memory of this pattern being challenging. I know a lot of people kind of complain about it, but I would say I never done in tarja. I did choose the cardigan versus a pullover. Like probably the pullover would have been my preference. That one seemed more intimidating actually. And this one felt like I could do stranded color work. So my intarsia is also stranded. Like I carry the floats. Let me open this baby up. So as you can see, I did have floats. I didn't do like a true intarsia. I don't remember if that was like not what the pattern recommended or whatever, but I thought it would just make my life easier because I was more accustomed to stranded color work, and the idea of intarsia did intimidate me. But I love this sweater. I did use recycled yarn for this. I bought a 100% wool bulky overweight or oversized sweater at the thrift store. I got it for $6 and it was 100% wool. It was a men's sweater. It was huge. I was so happy. I was gonna wear it as is. I loved it. It had like roll neck, rolled cuffs and everything, and it had some holes on the front, and someone tried to fix it, but they used like probably an acrylic yarn, so it just looked terrible. But I took it home. I got it for $6. I was so stoked. Took it home, fixed all the holes, and then put it on the edge of our laundry hamper because I was gonna wash it, like hand wash it later. Unfortunately that day my husband never did the laundry back then, so I wasn't even worried. I didn't say anything to him, and like I think 5 minutes after I put it there, he took the hamper down to the basement and did the laundry. So he threw the sweater in the wash. It did come out and it was felted. I did wear it once. Like the felted fabric didn't feel nice, so it wasn't something that I really wanted to wear after that. So I took it apart, and even though it was felted yarn, I thought maybe if I re-knit it, and honestly it worked out really well. I do think my I knit this off gauge. I don't remember what size. I think I did a 4. I don't remember what needles. I didn't take any notes. All I know is this was recycled yarn. It was probably heavier than the recommended yarn because most of Degen's patterns are DK weight. I didn't go back and check. This one might have been worsted. I cannot remember. And then for the flowers, I used this lopi that I got at a farm. I think it's like 2-3 hours from here. We went there one year for Christmas. Like we stayed at a little cutesy motel over the Christmas break, and we went out to, not remember the name of the town. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. We went to the farm and they have a little farm shop, and so I got this Aran weight 100% wool from there. I bought 3 skeins. So when I decided to do this sweater, and all 3 of them are slightly different colors, they're all undyed. So this one is like kind of a little bit more brownish, I would say, and then the other 2, the one is like more of a true gray, and then the other one is more of what people call grayish. It's like a beigey. I sort of thought, based on the quantities listed in the pattern, I thought I would need to use all 3 skeins. So I was going to do these 2 one color, the back 2 one color, and then the sleeves the 3rd color. I used one color for all of them, so I don't know how that happened because the yardage on these wasn't that great. It is very pilly. I don't know if you can really tell. And this yarn especially, I think it's kind of just like a single spun. So it's a little bit pilly, which I don't really mind because also it like kind of blended together. I think this was the best choice for color work and intarsia because it's like velcroed together now and it's not felted and it feels so soft. So I haven't done anything with the other 2 skeins, and to be honest, they're kind of just like too bulky, so I don't know what I'll use them for. Anyways, can I also just tell you what I'm drinking today? I got this at lunch because the hospital I go to is across from it. The best part about it is it's across from the mall, and the mall has an Eataly in it, so most weeks I have to go twice, Tuesday and Wednesday. So one of those days we go to Eataly and I get a sandwich. They have the best tuna sandwich I've ever had, and there's also the farcita cotto, which is like prosciutto, cheese, like a soft cheese, almost like a ricotta, and zucchini on their focaccia bread. I generally do not like prosciutto. I used to work in a kitchen. That was my co-op placement when I was in high school. I worked at this winery restaurant in the kitchen, and one of the jobs they made me do was slice the prosciutto. And I would have to carry this huge leg. I was 16 at the time. I'd have to carry this huge leg up to the 2nd floor prep kitchen and slice it on the meat slicer, and the smell was awful. I hate the smell of it. And I was also like so close, and just this leg with like, it just grossed me out so much. And then the texture of it I'm not a fan of, but somehow the sandwich works. It works. It is so good. If you go to Eataly, I mean, I think all their sandwiches are good. I haven't really tried any of the other ones. The tuna was my jam for like months, and every time I got it I thought, this can't be that good. It's just a tuna sandwich. Every time I got it, I would just bite into it and wow, this is the best tuna sandwich ever. Anyways, I digress. Let's get back on track. So I wanted to show the socks that I knit again. So now I have blocked them. I left them on the sock blockers so you can see them now in the natural light. The texture on these is just beautiful. Like, I love it. I don't want to talk about them that much because I talked about them yesterday. I'm just showing you the colors, and then I'll just show you what the skein, the last little bit, looks like. So it's showing a lot of oranges, but there's like a sagey green, there's a brown. There's beautiful and like perfect with most of my fall winter clothes. So I can't wait to wear them now that they're blocked. Before we get to my sock update, I just want to talk about one other thing real quick. So I don't think this is a secret. If it is, well, too bad. There's a local to me dyer, Hello Stella Fibres. I've never really worked with her yarn other than I bought 2 skeins of her Mohair, which I don't think she even sells anymore, and they were on like discount, so I think it was like a discontinued. Anyway, she seems to do like kind of one-off dyeing, so quite often she's sold out, but her yarn always looks so beautiful and I always want to support her. So last week she put out a call for people to knit samples, and there were 2 sweater samples she wanted and 1 like shawl tiny scarf sample. And the shawl scarf sample is the Midori Hirose variations on a triangle pattern, which I had just bought. I replied back to her and I said, I'm interested, I would do this pattern, I already bought it, and I would love to knit it up in your yarn for you. Her and I like worked it out, and she sent me the yarn. I just got it today, and I just have to show it. It is so pretty. So this is 100% blue face Leicester wool milled in Ontario. It's untreated, 2-ply fingering weight, and the yardage is 400 yards for 100 grams skein, which is pretty standard. This is the colorway cream. This is Nightshade. This is beautiful. I love this. And then this one has no name, but it might be GM. I know she has a red name called GM, but she didn't, there's no tag, so I don't know. This is her mini skein, 25 grams, and it's about 105 yards, I want to say. So that'll be fun. I will share updates. I'm not going to cast this on. It's not due till March, and just because I'm not feeling my best today, I'm not casting on. I'm not going to wind it today, but I have it for when I'm ready to do that. So let me just quickly show you my sock progress, and then also the yarn, because I didn't really talk about it yesterday. So I did work on it on my way to chemo, and then I worked on it while I was in the chair. But the Benadryl can really affect me, and today was one of those days where I usually, if I take knitting, it has to be super simple. If I work on it, it's going to be so slow. And then also this pattern, this pattern I've been so enjoying, excuse me, is so easy. It's easy to read. It's easily memorizable. This is the Vintage Lamps A pattern by Knitail Derako. I included some of the info in yesterday's description. I can always include it today too. And I'm using this beautiful hand-dyed yarn. It's called Neon Nights. It's from Skein Study, which is also locally dyed in Hamilton. It's only sold at Hand Knit Yarn Studio. I think it only is sold there because the person who dyes it is the owner of the yarn store. I have bought 4 skeins of this, different colorways. Also, this is the Mohair Forever, so it has like 25% mohair, 20% nylon, and then 55% wool. I don't remember if it's superwash. Probably, because it's a sock yarn. This colorway is sold out. It doesn't mean that she won't dye more of it, maybe in the spring. I don't know what her schedule is like. But I have this colorway, and then in the regular sock yarn, I have Charred Cedar, which I ordered online and is also gorgeous. And then I have 2 skeins of Oil Slick, which I'll show you later. I bought it to do the Midori Hirose popcorn shawl, which I should be starting on, but I'm not. I'm procrastinating. And then the accent color I'm using, it's showing up a little bit more red. It's kind of more purpley, darker, winey red. And this is from Amble, or this is, I guess, probably the base. Amble is the base. And I think Wandering Souls is, no, it's from the Fibre Co. Anyways, I don't know anything about this yarn. It is fingering weight. This one is, for the mini skein, it is 81 meters, 88 yards, 70% wool, 20% alpaca, and 10% nylon. And this colorway is Applebee Castle. I bought this for a different project, but then I ended up using a different yarn in the same color that I already had. So I really didn't need to buy it, I guess. But now it's working out because I'm using it for this sock. And I think I'm just going to use it for, like, obviously this. And then the toe. And maybe the heel, like, turn the little triangle that goes under your foot. I only want it to be, like, a slight accent. So yeah, that's my sock update. I was hoping, I think I have 2 more rows to go, and then I start doing the heel flap, which is very exciting. And then I have one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the twins who wrote the Moon and Turtle book, Kiyomi and Sachiko. They're located in Toronto, which is also kind of local to me. Today is their birthday. They released a collection of 6 patterns, and 2 of the patterns are so cute. They're all very cute, but 2 of the patterns I like definitely want to make, and I'm going to cast on one of them as soon as I'm done this. So it was a hat with like a small folded brim, and it looks basically like a baseball cap with no bill. It even includes like this little covered button on the top. It is so cute. So I'm gonna make that. And then this puffer scarf that's like one of those keyhole scarves, and you fill it with like polyfill, or I have tons of quilt batting because I do make quilts also, which I haven't really been doing lately, but I want to get back into, so probably it'll be something I talk about in the future. Although this is called the knitting update, but I think I will also include my quilt stuff that I might do. So yeah, puffer scarf. Then there's like this vest or polo slipover with like 2 pockets. It's pretty cute, but I don't think it's something I would make. There's a cardigan with some intarsia or duplicate stitch. It has a little collar and like bow closures with eye cords. It's also really cute, and the motif on it is like little waves, maybe to honor their Japanese heritage, I would guess. Then there's like a chore coat that looks like a chore coat. It's really cool. And then the 6th pattern is a pair of, I believe, worsted or Aran weight boot socks. Lots of cool fun patterns, and right now they're on, I think, 20% off. So I'm gonna buy the hat and the scarf. I have been debating just buying the whole book because it also comes as an ebook, and only some of the patterns can be purchased separately. So I think if you want like the sweater, the cardigan, or the jacket, for sure you have to buy the book, the ebook. I haven't bought it yet, so I still have, but I'm gonna cast it on in a minute, so I guess I'll have to make up my mind. So I also want to knit a stash yarn because I want to start it right now. So I thought this would actually be a fun project to do in this Noro Kurion. I don't know the colorway because this is very deep stash. For me, this was actually part of a sweater that I just frogged. So I have like, I think I have about 6 cakes like this, or 8. I would say for sure enough to do the hat and the scarf. I also just got a new herringbone like winter coat, and I think that this would be kind of like a fun hat and scarf to pair with that. Also, because of my baldness, I'm trying to knit more hats this year just to like see what I like. That is my knitting update for today. This video is way longer than I thought, and hopefully if you watched yesterday's video, it doesn't feel like too much of a repeat from what I talked about yesterday. And we'll see what I have to talk about tomorrow. Bye for now.